Hey everybody, welcome back to Financial Freedom Friday. Nate here once again. You're probably tired of seeing my face, but hey, I'm the only guy willing to do this for you. So we're here to talk about tips and strategies to help you find financial freedom. And we're in a very wonderful time of the year. It's called tax time. And I think you'd probably agree with me that taxes are really the greatest eroder of wealth that I can think of. And I would like to devote this to mainly for business owners. If you don't own a business, that's okay. Maybe we would be able to share an avenue that you could start a business. It doesn't have to, business is just an entity, so I'm happy to help you do some things, but this video may be more suited for business owners. But most people are fairly, through ignorance, and they just never really looked at maybe what they're missing out of. Maybe their CPAs are not really doing that good of a job telling them the different strategies to do. And I believe that every dollar that you can save in taxes is another dollar that you can put towards building wealth. So I've got 3 ideas that are commonly overlooked for business owners to try to reduce taxes. I'm sure there's many more, but these are ones that are fairly commonly overlooked that most of us can take advantage of. The first one is travel. If you have a corporation, an S Corp or a C Corp, it doesn't work as well for other types of entities, but if you have a real corporation, you're required each year to have a board of directors meeting. Each year you have to have one. It's mandated. You got to meet. The board of directors have to meet, and they got to decide certain things. You got to have minutes that go along with the meeting. The only difference between what most people are thinking is most people just have that at their office or their home or something. They don't go anywhere. Well, you're mandated to have one. It's just not required where you have your board of directors meeting. So you can have your board of directors meeting in Hawaii if you'd like to. And so in other words, and I'm not a tax professional, you want to talk to yours, but it may make sense to, next time you go on vacation, don't just make it a personal trip, make it a board of directors trip and talk with your family about the business, and have you and your spouse on as the board of directors, and actually make note of what you've spoken about. And because most of you, if you're in business, you're maybe on vacation, but your mind is still working in business at the same time. That's just very common, whether we want it to be that way or not. So might as well be able to write off the trip and have it be a board of directors meeting. So that's step number 1. Is many times there are ways to write off travel that you may have just been personally expending. The second one is the meals and entertainment expense. If you're bringing a friend out to eat, or a family member, and you really want them to be their clients, and they probably should be your clients if they're friends with you, they should do business with you. But if you have them and you're wanting to talk a little bit about what you do, or even if it's an existing client who is a friend of yours, you can actually write those types of dinners off as long as you are talking about business. So I know for me, my friends are clients of mine, and every time I take them out to dinner, I'll take the check. I like them, and I'm able to write it off as long as we do talk about business. And normally whenever I'm meeting with my clients who are my friends, I'm doing that. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. And lastly, there are many times we can actually help with medical expenses. And a C Corp, a certain type of corporation you may or may not have, but you can set one up, can have what's called a medical expense reimbursement program, or a MERP. And inside that corporation, it can actually refund you for all of your medical expenses on a pre-tax basis. So not only your premiums, but going to the doctor, going to the hospital, every expense you can get reimbursement from that company on a pre-tax basis. So there's ways to even save on health care for those who are interested in starting their own company. And if you're doing the infinite banking concept with us, and you don't have a company, it may be a good idea to start one and use it as your private financing company. So talk to us if you'd like to know about it. Remember, taxes erode your wealth. Let's do everything we can to reduce the tax burden so we have more money to build our own financial freedom and more money under our control. And if you don't build it, nobody's going to do it for you. So let's do a little bit of work. Talk to your CPA. See if there's things you can do to reduce your burden, whether it's just starting a corporation to invest or whatever it is. And if you need some help, always feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. We'll see you next week.